I'm very pleased to be speaking with Dr. Laura Monk this morning. It's afternoon where you are in England, right, my dear?
It is. Hi, Liz. Lovely
Yeah.
to
So
be
Dr. Laura, is great to be with you. You are a certified VITA sex, love, and relationship coach, a certified source retreat leader, a counselor and a psychotherapist, and a social psychologist.
here.
So grateful to have you as a co-author in Be the Beacon. I'd love to hear what drew you to sharing your wisdom in your chapter with us in the book.
Yeah, thank you. Lovely to be able to share that work and contribute to that book. It was very meaningful for me because what brought me to the work was this awakening in midlife for me. Spiritual awakening, sexual awakening, awakening to life, really, that I wanted to share with other women, and finding this concept of the Maga healer through my coaching training in sex, love, and relationships, I realized was this beautiful vehicle for sharing this knowledge, because the Maga is a beacon. She is a midlife woman, and she has this incredible wisdom and experience that she shares with her communities. So when I was invited to write the chapter, it was just perfect, and I love it. I love my part in this book, and being part of this incredible anthology of other women, lots of other midlife women, and some younger and older women sharing their stories. And I hope that it spreads hope and power and possibilities of this phase of a woman's life to do more and share more to others.
Yes, and I'm so grateful to have this in our book and to be talking about it with you here today, because I know I'm 42, turning 43, and life only got better for me when I turned 40. And that is definitely not what you are told is going to happen, right? As I developed more confidence and felt more comfortable in who I was and in myself, and, kind of settled into that. And so I love hearing what's in store for me next. And I want to share that with more women as they're coming up and it's helpful for me to hear too, right? So I know that I'd never heard of a Maga healer archetype before talking with you. And I know the word Maga here in the US has a totally different association. And it's not that. But I'd love for you to talk about what this concept is a little bit more, perhaps reading from the chapter to help people get what this means.
Yeah, I'd love to do that, Elizabeth. I have just the part in my chapter. So I'm introducing an Australian shamanic midwife, Jane Hardwick Collins, who actually conceptualized the 4-phase feminine way. I'm not reading this, I'm just telling you this because there's a little bit beforehand. And this is an evolution of the triple goddess form, maiden, mother, crone. So I'll read this. So she conceptualized a 4-phase feminine way comprising maiden, mother, Maga, crone, which postpones the crone years until we are about 70 plus, and introduces the Maga at midlife, around 50 years at menopause. So Hardwick Collins explains that in the ancient time of the triple goddess, girls and women had babies at 14, were grandmothers at 30, and dead at 45. The seasons of this trifold life then were truncated during the mother phase, who represented both summer, and autumn. And more pleasingly, the four-phase feminine way allows each phase its own season, in addition to rites of passage, thusly, maiden, spring, menarche, mother, summer, childbirth, Maga, autumn, menopause, crone, winter, retirement. And the Maga is a truly magical phase of a woman's life. Etymologically, the word comes from the Latin magus, meaning magician, translating for women as sorceress, witch, healer, enchantress, etc. Scholars and ethnologists have identified the term Maga as one that denotes those who practice white magic and healing. It's no coincidence that this term is surfacing now during the turn away from patriarchy and towards the feminine wisdom that Mother Earth is crying out for. The Maga brings compassion, interconnection, intuitive healing, and much needed mentoring and support to those in her community who are guided by her profound wisdom and magical gifts. The Maga is like a lighthouse who leads those seeking direction to find their bearings, and when she leads, her love and light aims explorers towards an assured future, which is often drawn from her own experiences. It is my personal understanding that the Maga has a particular gift of illumination to women seeking guidance in the second half of their lives, because that is where she resides.
Oh, I started tearing up when you're talking about this, because it's such a beautiful way of looking at something that has not been honored in our past, right? So this is so exciting for me to hear about personally. And I love your chapter because it does talk about these concepts, which I know are new to a lot of people. And if it's not new, it's something that I know I feel a strong connection to, and other women will also. And you share personal things about what brought you to having this discovery and where you are now in kind of a vulnerable way. So I really want to acknowledge you for sharing these personal stories with us. And these concepts that can really shift the whole paradigm of our lives, and we can know that, yes, there's things to wake up for, right? And to what that experience is like. So when you're working with people now, what type of work are you doing with them? What does that look like? What do they gain from diving into this exploration?
Yeah, so as a sex, love, and relationship coach, those are the areas I'm working with midlife women and couples. So the approach that I'm trained in as a Vita coach, it stands for Vital and Integrated Tantric Approach, and it combines Tantra and Taoism with neuroscience, internal family systems, and somatic experiencing. So the Tantra and the Taoism are ancient healing practices, of course, and then the others are all fairly modern, as the neuroscience is working with the unconscious, and the other two, IFS and SE, they're very much in the body. So these are all beautifully integrated to get us into our body. So very feminine and drawing on ancient women, ancient wisdom, women's wisdom, which is all about being in our body and being back to nature and making that connection that we are nature. You know, we are so like nature. We are, you know, in so many ways, especially for women, and the way that our bodies, our cycles are coincide with the cycle of the moon. And this very seasonal and cyclical approach to understanding women's bodies and all of these rites of passage, which is actually where I discovered the Maga healer. So I discovered the Marga Healer through my coaching training from Layla Martin. She's a Tantra teacher who heads this school of integrated sexuality. So I learned about the Marga Healer from her before I discovered, then I did my research and discovered Jane Hardwick Collins' Marga. And this really honors the seasonal cyclical aspects of womanhood in relation to sex, in relation to love, in relation to relationships, and understanding that all of these things have their own seasons. So we have and can honor, we can acknowledge and understand and honor the times of spring, the times of summer, and you call autumn, fall, and the times of winter. So, you know, we're always at different stages in all of these areas of our life, and it makes perfect sense, and it really helps to understand these areas of our lives in this way, so in tune with nature. And I love that.
Mm. Yeah, it's so funny how we, as a society, think of ourselves as separate, and we're so completely, we are natural beings, right? And I know for myself, the more I develop, like recognize that and get in tune with those seasons, those rhythms, that it's a much pleasanter life.
Yeah. Love that word, the rhythms. Yeah, the rhythms of life. Absolutely.
So how do people get in touch with you or learn more about all of this? What is the best way to connect with you?
Well, I'm everywhere on social media as Dr. Laura Monk, same name everywhere. And my website is drlauramonk.com. I'm actually having a big overhaul of my website, a rebranding. And I'm working with the wonderful and very talented Barb Pritchard. Yes, very soon.
We love Barb Pritchard here, yes.
The cover for the Be the Beacon. I love her. I love her work. I'm so excited to be working with her. I've had a really exciting photo shoot very recently, really celebrating being in midlife and showing that, that free spirit out in nature, on the beach and in the woods, and it's all going to look very different. But it will still be the same domain name, drlauramonk.com. And I also run a Facebook group called Ageless Goddess, and people won't be able to find that because it's secret, but they can just get in touch with me and ask to join, and then I will very gladly welcome anybody to that group. It's a lovely playground for talking about all of these aspects of midlife that we don't get to talk about in so many places.
Excellent. Thank you so much for, first of all, doing this work. I know that you are changing women's lives every day. So thank you for bringing this into the world, and thank you for being here to talk about it and for sharing your wisdom in our Be the Beacon book. I'm so grateful for you, Dr. Laura Monk. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you for having me, and thank you for being who you are and doing all the work that you do. I've really enjoyed being part of the Beacon, Be the Beacon anthology.
Oh,